and economic efficiency was key. So Mises writes this in the 1920s, throws the challenge down. There's some responses by the Marxists, but the most interesting responses were by then mainstream economists, particularly Oscar Lange, the others as well, who argued, and here's where we get into the weeds a bit, but argued that the principles by which the theory that economists use to talk about the market could apply equally to a socialist, so at least a system, Lange said, where the means of production were socially owned. So Lange, this got referred to as market socialism, was allowing prices back in ways. And so, one point you can make right here is, well, okay, then you've conceded Mises' main point. But what Lange tried to argue is you could still allocate capital from the top down by kind of mimicking the market, by sort of throwing out prices and seeing what people would be willing to supply and demand and adjusting them accordingly. He had this whole kind of complicated system. Hayek's work in the 30s and 40s was a response largely to the Lange-type proposals about why that couldn't work. And one of the interesting things about that, I think, is that Lange said in his original contribution how grateful the planners should be for Mises's original argument, because it forced them to think through all these issues, that they should build a statue of Mises in the Hall of Planning to thank him, right?
That would be ironic.
A little snarky. Yeah, Lange was being a little snarky. But I think it's fair to say that without Lange's response to Mises, Hayek would never have been pushed to develop these knowledge issues in the way that he did. And in a real equally ironic sense, modern Austrian economics owes a debt to Lange